Guys, I came across a clip today of something I think is very interesting, and not because it is extremely controversial. It definitely is extremely controversial, but just looking into the minds of what how some people think is just very interesting to me. Guys, this is Ricochet, where culture meets chaos, and today we are looking into something known as the Return to Land movement.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
There you go, the preservation of what they are calling white American culture. Now, right off the top, we got to give a shout out to Tom Cheshire of Sky News for being able to get in there, infiltrate the compound. Well, I guess not necessarily a compound. This isn't like the LDS or anything like that, but on that breaking Amish type shit. But just going in there with an open mind, presenting himself as, someone, and not even as, but like someone who wants to learn more, try to understand what's going on. And I guess just going in there with good faith.
The last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building houses. They call it an intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
Now, shared ancestry, how far are these people going back? Because if I'm not mistaken, the founders of the United States of America were European, and not just European, but for the most part European, British, that kind of thing. And if you go back even further, you'll find even those people were from many different areas. So I just find it interesting that they're cutting off ancestry essentially at one point and saying, no, we just want people from this time only. That's it.
I think we would generally be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references?
Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
Is this guy for real? Does he actually mean why wouldn't he? Because we all know that's bad, right? And I mean, I'm not even going to come out here and say that these people are Nazis. I don't think that at all. I don't know why he would agree to that reference,
Seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible because of a new political and technological moment. One with strong ties to the most active far-right groups in the US. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own, for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
She talk about ancestry. Is she like, here's the thing. I know her. Okay, personally, I know that if I go back far enough, there are white genes in my ancestry. So for this woman to think that, she is strictly white, I mean, they must not have got that 23andMe before that place shut down,
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful. And you don't know who to trust.
And along with that, I honestly don't think these people, the first settlers here, I'm not going to come out and say that they are trying to be malicious in what they are trying to do. I can understand, they feel that perhaps who they know as themselves, as their ancestry is being diminished by the melting pot of North America. And to be honest, I think that, a lot of people would think maybe that's what America is about, everybody coming together to build one community. But I can understand, I can see by some of the rhetoric and just how things have gone in the United States recently. And, even in Canada, just how some people could think that they are being pushed out, whether it's because they feel guilt or they don't believe they should feel guilt or whatever it may be, just the way things are going. I can understand how they can feel that. But I think what they might not understand is that it's not the people that they are in this with right now. I think that down the line, like this lady was just saying, she's fearful down the line. You know, we all know things get more extreme the longer they go on. You see it in politics over like 10, 15-year spans, the swings to the left, swings to the right. I'd probably say we're in a swing to the right now. I think that's where this might become an issue down the road.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white.
Blonde hair, blue eye, might I add.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
Again, like I said, I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's immoral, but again, down the line, I think that this could be troublesome. We're gonna take a look at another clip titled "The Women of America's White Only Town." Again, this is in Arkansas, and I've seen some reports that they're wanting to expand, but we'll take a look at this first.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32.
What up, Nikki?
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only, that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading type roles.
I guess I found the people through Twitter that ended up starting this project, actually spearheading it, and I went out to the first April event last year, and it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites, but is okay by implication for
This is where I have an issue with this. Okay by implication. What does she mean? Are you telling me that you think that after slavery, black people just all wanted to get pushed into this one area of, in the slums, whatever, even if it wasn't the slums, you think that like people purposely? Now, granted, when you see places like Chinatown or Little Italy and stuff like that, that's a group of people that, yes, they share the same ancestry, they have the same beliefs and stuff, and they all want to live in the same area in a small community. But they're never, ever saying that they're not allowing people of other races, religions, creeds, whatever it may be, to live amongst them. They embrace those people because they know that they can come together, build a community with different people and share values. Some of them may not be the same or just have like an experience of other people's values. They're not ever saying like, oh, white people aren't allowed to live here. Now you could say that going to, a densely urban area of a place where mostly black people reside, some people may not feel comfortable being in those areas, but there is nothing saying that a white person cannot go and live in a predominantly black area. Okay, nothing legally saying that. And for her to say there's implications of that, I think that's a little disingenuous, trying to use it as an excuse to say that, oh, we're not going to allow these people here because I feel that we're not allowed in another place. It's a little rough. I don't know if I could agree with that.
other groups. I do feel it's necessary to carve that out, and you kind of have to do it yourself.
It's kind of like if we don't do this, the laws are only getting worse as far as freedom of association goes.
If by that measure, that would go for everybody. So I don't feel it's fair to say that's only happening to you.
So it's kind of like we have to do this.
Laws apply to everybody.
There might come a time where it's not possible to.
Are you guys aware sort of people are going to be watching, it's going to be controversial?
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
What's that misunderstanding? Yeah.
Well,
that we hate everyone else.
If you want to talk about implications, then yeah, that's what it does seem like. I don't know. I just feel like I personally would never feel okay with telling somebody they're not allowed to go and live in this one certain area. If there was a danger in the area, the land was inhabitable, okay, that's understandable. But just to say we're this type of people, we're taking this area and nobody else, that anybody that doesn't look like us, they're not allowed to be here. That's heading straight ass backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
about that
Yeah,
by any means.
it's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community.
Yeah.
If you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do. And
Yes, I will agree. They do have their own communities, but they let other people in as well. That's the big difference. They're not saying, oh, you can't come here or you can't come here. Generally, for the most part, they are inviting all of those communities.
I think that's great for them. And it's like if other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't.
It's
doesn't make
because
sense.
other people aren't
It's
segregating.
to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my
Your American answer. Look, it's because, and I've said this already, nobody is saying, I don't know any community is saying, no, you can't come and live in this area legally.
children's children.
The leader, Eric Orwell, wants the community to grow and further what he calls traditional white American culture. And the group is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth. Just before we arrived, they donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of
That's it, 1K?
have big families to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to as part of helping grow this thing that you're going to have.
Okay, so, you know, that, like I said, those are just a couple clips from this video. It is available now. I'll leave the link in the description down below to the Sky Media YouTube channel where you can find this video. You know, very interesting. Like I said before, I don't think these people are meaning for this to be malicious. Some of the things they're saying, I don't necessarily agree with. It's when it comes to in the future, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, there's going to be some extremism with this stuff. And that's when people get hurt, and that's when things get a little misconstrued. And like that older black lady was saying, you know, someone who probably experienced a lot of segregation herself, she looked old as hell. It probably is giving her some flashbacks in regards to situations like that. So, you know, like I said at the beginning, this is a controversial topic, and hopefully y'all can keep it respectful in the comments. I'm not going to turn them off or anything like that, but if you motherfuckers start getting racist, then I'm going to have to get rid of those comments, all right? But outside of that, hopefully we can have a healthy discussion about this. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.